Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, the 25th of April 2023, and off on my morning run. It's just coming up for about 6:30, and as you can see, it's quite foggy. Like I said, I'm just setting up on my morning run. 25th of April's a pretty significant day in Australia, so start the run with a bit of a history lesson. Today is ANZAC Day. ANZAC stands for Australia and New Zealand Army Corps, and during World War I, Australian and New Zealand soldiers were sent to Europe to help the British fight the Germans and the other countries involved in World War I, involved in that campaign. Now, in 1915, the British Admiralty decided that the Dardanelles, which are a narrow strip of water in the Mediterranean, I think, were going to be blocked off by the Germans, and so British supply lines would be blocked, and the soldiers would not be able to get supplies and ammunition and be reinforced and so on. So the British warlords decided that what should happen is that Australian and New Zealand troops mainly should be sent to Gallipoli, which is a beach in Turkey, and they should storm this beach and then climb up the rocky cliffs, take the high ground and protect this vital shipping lane. Now, the Turkish troops were, of course, on the high ground already above the beach and determined to keep that territory, and so these large numbers of Australian and New Zealand troops landed at this Gallipoli and were immediately under fire from troops above them, and of course casualties were high. And after a long and I think ultimately unsuccessful campaign, the troops were withdrawn. So ANZAC Day becomes a public holiday in Australia and New Zealand, and every small community has, and big community, city and town, has a march and a dawn service and the old soldiers, of which I don't think there are any surviving World War I veterans, but soldiers from other wars go and have a lunch and relive their days of service and so on. It is said that at the time of the Gallipoli campaign, Australia, that had only been a federated nation for 14 years, federation took place in 1901. So in 1915, Australia's population was something like 5 million, and we lost something like 60,000 people in World War I. New Zealand at the same time had a population of 1 million, and including nurses and others who were not combatants, it's said that New Zealand lost something like 100,000 people, or a tenth of their population. So it's a pretty significant day in the history of both nations. And it's gone through, certainly in Australia, a time when it was not thought of terribly well, because it was thought that people were glorifying war. But the past couple of decades, as more and more people have made a journey to Gallipoli for the service there, I think it's taken on a different hue, a vision, and people have seen it as a significant moment in Australia's history, but also a point where we stop and reflect on the sacrifices that so many made then and in campaigns since. And rather than glorify war or military conflict, it's about recognising ordinary Australians who, in some cases, did extraordinary things, and even those who just did their service. Some of them, as I said, paid the ultimate sacrifice. Now, one of the famous stories that comes out of the Gallipoli campaign was the story of Simpson and his donkey. Now, Simpson, John Simpson, I think his name was, I think he'd come to Australia from Scotland, but that part may be incorrect. But he, I think, was a medical orderly at Gallipoli, and had a donkey, and he took his donkey up through the fighting and brought wounded Australian servicemen back down to where they could be treated. And so, as I say, it's one of those times when an ordinary guy just does an extraordinary thing, sees something that needs to be done. He isn't looking for rewards or recognition, just goes and does what has to be done. Alright, so yeah, having a day off today, Tuesday the 25th, that's why. Your children, if you have any, be back to school tomorrow for the start of the second term, and I'll continue running through the pea soup here to do my run. And the road I'm on here, I think it's now called the WEO Road, W-H-E-E-O, and I'm heading west of Goulburn, and the sign that you probably can't read, just over there, says Grabbing Gullen, and it's about 40 k's from here. There's a little village, there's a pub, not sure if there's still a school there or not. Not going that far, definitely not going to be running that far. Given how thick this fog is, I'm glad I've chosen today to do this run. There's not much traffic on the road. I'm going to be running along here for about 2 more k's, probably closer to 3 actually. I think it's about 4.8 to where I make the next turn. So, and then I'm going to make a right hand turn onto Chinamans Lane, which I think is also about 3 k's. That connects this road, the WEO Road, or the Grabbing Gullen Road, with the Crookle Road. And what happens after that, we'll get to that when we get a bit closer to there. Not really sure what you're seeing other than fog. I had hoped that it would be clearer and you'd be able to see the countryside here. I forgot to say earlier, I have my DJI Action 2 camera and I'm recording to the SD card. Everything's fully powered up and the little red light is blinking, so as far as I know, nobody's going at a fast clip in this terrible thick fog. Not much traffic to worry about, but even at this time of the morning, there'll be kangaroos on this road. So anyway, hopefully everything's going according to plan as far as recording what I'm doing. And you'll get to see some footage of thick fog. should say, despite the fog, not all that cold. I'm wearing a short sleeve t-shirt, shorts, and just shoes and socks. I haven't put gloves on this morning. One of those conundrums, you put them on, your fingers are cold and so on, and then as you run you get warmed up, your hands get warm, you've got to take them off, then you've got to fiddle around getting them off and put them in your pocket and whatever, something to, or you go out without them and hope that you're able to generate enough body heat from running that even your fingers will be warm and not feel the tingling and the cold. Well, I didn't realise how foggy it was till I got out the door, and once I was out the door I thought, not going back in for gloves, I'll just put up with it and we'll see what happens. I expect I get a bit further down here, we'll be closer to the river. It'll be the Wallandilly River. It might get a little bit colder down there, but then I'll be running up the hill, get back up to the Crookle Road, so it may be temporary, and just to get through it. I have run this course, the Chinamans Lane course as I call it, a couple of times. I think this might be the third time I've run it in this direction, and I also have run it once in the opposite direction. In other words, I'd be going up these hills that I'm on now rather than down them. It's a course that, as you can see at the moment, it's downhill a bit and then quite flat, and then there's some steep parts coming up out of Chinamans Lane which you'll get to, and then again downhill a bit and up and down back towards home. If you go this direction, it's the same if you go the other way, except that almost from the moment you